Hello, hello, welcome back to my channel. So for today's makeup, for today's video, we are going to be playing with Sheglam makeup. So for those that don't know, Sheglam is Shein's beauty line. You guys, I spent like $60 for a full face. Everything I'm wearing today is Sheglam minus like one or two products. Everything from foundation to cream contour to eyeshadow, all Sheglam. I'm so impressed. Like if you guys can already tell, like my skin looks just like, it doesn't look like it cost $60 or less. So before we jump into the footage, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Also hit that post notification bell so that you can be notified of all my future uploads. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Okay guys, how are we liking the new setup? I felt like before I was very, very close, like really up close and personal, which is nice, but I feel like this looks better. So let me know in the comments how you like the new setup, but I'm so excited. We're going to be playing with all new Sheglam makeup. I have so much stuff here, you guys. I think I spent, how much did I spend? I want to say like $70. And if you guys can see what's in front of me, and like not only that, I purchased like every single blush color, well not every palette, but like 5 different palettes, multiple foundations. Now shipping was a little weird. I placed 3 different orders because, no offense, but I was a little bit skeptical. So I was like, let me do one order first. It came, I was so shocked. So I did like a first impressions unboxing on Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, make sure you do. Everything felt so amazing. So I immediately placed 2 more orders. So the first order took like 8 weeks to ship. And to be honest, like I thought I had gotten scammed because like their customer service really isn't that great. However, the second and third orders came within like 5 days. I don't know, test your luck, see what happens. But honestly, these products are such high quality that like I would do it again, hands down. But enough of me rambling, let's go ahead and get started. So I didn't grab a primer from Sheglam. So I have this Tarte Timeless Putty Primer. So I got this because Tati Westbrook used to rave about it. I'm going to apply, so if you see me looking this way, I'm looking at my mirror. It's a little bit different than like an e.l.f. putty primer because it feels like, it's more of like a putty consistency. If you guys can kind of see in here, it's definitely like a little bit more like putty-esque, whereas I feel like the e.l.f. one is definitely a little bit more firm. However, oh, and this one glides a little bit better too. However, I feel like they're both doing the same thing. So I'm just pressing into the skin. And I'm really trying to focus this in my porous area. So for me, that's like around my cheeks, and like I have like some texture on like towards the back of my cheeks. So I'm just like kind of doing this weird like patting in motion. It's kind of gross, but I feel like I'm kind of taking like Play-Doh and like putting into my pores to make my skin look smoother. Ew. Okay, cool. So for foundation, I'm so impressed with this. So this came in this like velvet like dust bag. The bottle seems to be glass. This is the Shein Complexion Pro Long Lasting Breathable Matte Foundation. This is what it looks like. Again, like super glam. I have the shades Sand and Golden. So I feel like Golden's probably gonna be a little bit too dark. So I'm gonna mix a little bit of Sand. Hopefully this is the right shade. Better. See, the thing is like my face is significantly lighter than my neck. Why? I don't know. Probably because I use a ton of SPF and I'm always exfoliating my face, but I'm tired of shade matching, so we're gonna make this work. So I'm gonna go in with my beauty sponge and I'm just going to press that into the skin. Color match. This is not my shade, but that's okay, we'll make it work with concealer, bronzer, all of that. As always, make sure you are dragging this down the neck. So I'm just gonna apply whatever's left over on my hand and drag it down the neck. This is what we're looking like with about like a pump worth of product. Now this shade is a little bit off. It definitely looks like a little bit more yellowy compared to my neck, or at least that's what I see in the viewfinder. This is supposed to be matte, but it's definitely like I don't feel tight or like bunchy or crunchy. I really like this. I also did mix in a drop of oil into my moisturizer. Again, like I have super dry skin, so that's just like part of my normal everyday routine. So if you put this on like bare face, like literally like fresh out, like maybe a little bit of moisturizer, you probably get more of a matte finish. But for me, this is perfect. I love how this is looking so far. I hope that it lasts long. There's nothing worse than finding like the best foundation ever and then like 8 hours later you look crazy. Maybe not even 8 hours. So moving on to cream contour. Literally this brand had everything. I was so shocked. I have this Sheglam, doesn't say. It's the contour stick in mocha, and it has like a little brush at the end of this, which I will not be using. Like it's so short and dense. I don't know who would be using it. But this is what she looks like. This is what the color looks like. I'm going to go in with this angled buffing brush from e.l.f. and I'm just going to run the color on the brush a bit just to warm up the product. You could totally do this with a sponge, but I also do have a lot of product on here and I want to use that to kind of buff out and blend after I'm done putting the contour on. So I'm going to go along the perimeter of the forehead and I'm going to suck in, and you see where that line is where I have, that's my natural cheekbone, so I'm just gonna go in and accentuate that space. Oh, I mean, this color is nice. I will say it is not the easiest to blend. And this may be the brush. I washed all my brushes. So you know when you wash your brushes, they're like a tiny bit little stiff, but yeah, I think it's this brush that I don't love, but it's doing the job for sure. I have so much foundation in my hairline, it's making me look like I have gray hair, but yeah, I like that. That's pretty. So I'm gonna just suck in and start to pat that in. And once I find that like natural curvature, I'm just going in and just warming the rest of the area up. But I kind of do that line so I know not to go below that. Because the farther down you bring your bronzer and contour, the more sunk in your face looks, and no one likes that. So I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. This is what we're looking like, very like sun-kissed. I like how this looks. I really like it. I always forget to bring like a little small brush, so we're gonna see how this works, but I'm gonna take this little end of the brush and I'm just going to like put a little bit down the sides of the nose. Now, I would totally not recommend doing this because as you can see, there's no precision at all and I look like nuts. So we'll see how this little brush kind of buffs things out. Yeah, this isn't working. And now I have these streaks of brown on my face. So I'm just gonna blend it out with my beauty blender. Okay, now off camera real quick, I just blended out the nose contour a little bit. As you can see, it's not really nose contour and it's just kind of bronzer everywhere. This is why you need the right tools, and this is an example of things happening and it's really not a big deal. So I'm gonna take the end of my beauty sponge and just go over everything to make sure that we are nice and blended. And I have no additional product on my sponge. This is just the leftover foundation from that application. And as I'm blending it out, the foundation's starting to settle in and it's definitely mattifying itself, which I like. And I still have a little bit of like a healthy glow. Obviously I have like these studio lights here. So in person, once I shut these lights off, like I definitely won't be as glowy, but nonetheless, it still looks really pretty and it looks like my skin. Like it doesn't look like it's sitting on the skin, which I love. Now, Sheglam did not have a concealer, or at least I didn't pick up one, so I'm going to go ahead and use my Flower Beauty Light Illusion Concealer. I have the shades Light and Light Medium. They actually extended the shade range. Like I remember complaining about that in a previous video, and then when I went to link it, they had like 10 shades, so, or not they had 10 shades, they expanded by 10 shades, which I mean isn't still fabulous. However, like they extended the range and they're doing their part and they're at least trying. So check this out if you can get a closer shade match. So I'm gonna go ahead and, ooh. So as you can see, like this shade is very, very bright. And so I mainly use it like to mix, and I'm just gonna put a little bit over there. I mainly use it to mix in with this darker shade. But I've been doing my concealer a little bit differently. I see it on TikTok, so I feel obliged to do it. which is like stupid, but it gets me to use a little less concealer than I normally do, which is good. So now I'm going to go ahead and blend this out, and to set, I'm super excited. I have this Sheglam Cappuccino, that's the shade. I have the Sheglam Baked Glow Setting Powder, and I have the shade Cappuccino. So this is what she looks like. So I'm gonna go ahead and it comes with like a little like puffy puff guy, which if you're new here, we don't use those. So I'm just gonna put some in the cap. And then this is, ooh, it looks like a nice shade. So I'm gonna go ahead and blend out the concealer, and then I'm going to use what's in this cap to go ahead and set the face. Cute. Okay, and now I'm gonna take my little brush today, and I'm using this Sigma tapered highlighter brush. I'm just gonna go ahead and set everywhere that we put that concealer. This looks really, really pretty, and it doesn't look like stark matte on my face, which I like. Like some powders I put on and I immediately see like way too like drying, and it starts to cling to my dry patches. I don't get any of that with this. Is there like a subtle glow? I think there may be like a very healthy glow underneath. I need to like set my cheek area so I can kind of see. I think so. Like I don't know if you can see that, but like I'll go ahead and set over that whole area, and you can still see there's like a little bit of shine peeking through, which I actually really like. Again, that could also be from the fact that I had an oil on underneath this that I had mixed in with my foundation, but either way, or not with my foundation, my moisturizer, but either way, I think it looks really pretty. So I'm gonna take what's left in the cap, or at least there's a lot in here, just a tiny bit, and take this on my brush and just go ahead and set the rest of the face real quick. Okay. So the face is set. Again, like I see like a very like natural, healthy like glow peeking through from this. I really like it. I can also see like a little bit of, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but I can see a little bit of my little acne scars through, which like I don't mind, because the fuller coverage the foundation, the easier it is to spot when your shade is off. And yeah. So to set the cream contour, I know we went in with powder, but I'm just going to go in a tiny bit with my, of course, MAC Give Me Sun. And I'm just going to go ahead and go over all the areas very lightly that we applied that cream contour. And you can see like I'm being very liberal with this. Like I'm not being very precise at all, but I'm really just making sure that I go back into the hairline. And I'm gonna use this and pinch it really tiny and just softly go over that nose contour too. And again, you can see like I'm not being precise with this at all. I don't really want like a super structured look. I don't really care, I'm just slapping it on. And I'm just going underneath here to give myself 5 to 10 pounds off. So. Perfect. Now for blush, I'm super excited. So I have these Sheglam, what are these technically called? Lightweight matte blushes. And again, you guys, like look at the packaging. Like this is so pretty. It's so pretty. So I have in front of me the shades High and Dry, if I can get them open. I have the shades Good Vibes and High and Dry. High and Dry is definitely more of like a pinky, and then I have to turn it that way, there we go. And Good Vibes is more of like a corally. I don't know which shade I want to use, but they feel like velvet. I think I paid like $2 for these. So I actually think I'm gonna go ahead and mix the two and see how that looks. So I'm just gonna take any angled brush like this. This one is from Morphe, it's the E4, and I'm just gonna dip into both of them. And I'm going to start at the apple of the cheeks. I'm gonna smile to see where it lands, but you never want to smile, put on blush, and then, you know, leave, because think about it, when you smile, your cheekbones are going up, so the second you stop smiling, everything falls. So if you're accentuating all the way down here, that's just gonna pull your face down. So I usually smile just to get like a feel for like the area I need to put it in, but I'll usually go in a little bit higher and then I'll pull it back like so. This looks really pretty. So again, starting up here just to get a feel, and then I'm going to pull back. And I'm not swiping back just because I want to be really careful not to disrupt all of our hard work underneath with the foundation, the primer, the contour, the bronzer. So I'm just lightly stippling, which is like, just like dabbing it in. And then pulling back. And I love a little bit of blush on the nose, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Unnecessary, but I think it looks really cute and like flushed. So this is what we're looking like. Definitely very rosy, guys. I'm loving the way the skin looks so far. If you guys haven't tried out these products, I don't know what to tell you. Like, what are you waiting for? So anyways, moving on to highlight. I didn't grab a highlight, which I'm so annoyed by. I don't know why I didn't. So I'm gonna go ahead and use a new highlight to me. These are the Ofra highlighters, and I have here the shade Soho. This is what it looks like very like peachy. Let's see if I can do a little swatch. That is, you can't even see. Can you kind of see? There you go. There you go. That is what she looks like very bright. It's more of like a peachy color. I hear these are very, very intense, and you guys know that I am no longer into like really, really blinding highlights, so I'm going to tap off as much excess as I can, and I'm going to be very, very precise with where I put it. I usually do like the very tops of the cheekbones, but I don't like to pull it down because, again, highlight emphasizes texture, so I never want to come all the way down to my cheek area, especially because I spent such a hard time, or such a long time, and I really didn't. I spent time priming this area to make sure that my pores weren't visible, so I'm just going to steer clear of that area. Oh my gosh. What? I literally tapped off so much. That is crazy. Oh no. Okay, this highlight is not for the faint of heart. So if you're not careful, you can go from 0 to 100 real quick. That is crazy. Yeah, I'm just gonna focus it in that area because that highlight is way too stark for me. That will expose every single pore of mine, and I'm not taking that chance. So now I'm just gonna use it and go in with my finger because again, did you guys see me just try to tap off my finger? I'm gonna take my finger and be super, super precise, and I'm gonna go down the bridge of the nose and then a little boop right in the middle, and skipping out. So like if you pull your highlight down, stop, like leave a space, and then like tap in the middle, it'll kind of like appear as though it's like kind of like lifted a little bit. So guys, this color is so pretty. Like this color looks so nice. I love this. Again, I'm just loving all of these products, you guys. And this is a full like first impressions, like minus that concealer. So I'm so thrilled right now. Alrighty, the fun part, moving on to palettes. I bought about 5 different palettes from them. Now, I swatched a couple and I put it on Instagram stories. So again, if you haven't seen that, go and check it out. But I have some first impressions already. I got these 2. I feel like these are supposed to be like dupes for the Huda pastel palettes. Guys, these are not it. Now, mind you, I only swatched them, and you really need to play with the palette on the eyes, but I was really not impressed. You guys, my camera stopped recording, so I don't know when it stopped recording. However, I'm just gonna walk through everything that I did just in case. So for the eyes, what we went ahead and did was used the Sheglam, the Afterglow palette. I went in and I used these 2 shades right here in the crease. I built up this color right here and I dragged it a little bit on the lid. And then with my finger, I took this shade right here, and I took this shade over here and I dabbed it all over the lid. And then I went in with this shade right here, a mix of these 2, and I just like tapped it on very lightly in the center. Then I went with this shade right here in the inner corner and on the brow bone very slightly. And then I took the same shades that we used in the crease and I ran them underneath my lower lash line. I have no idea where it cut out, and I'm so sad because I went through the other palettes that I had. If you missed it, again, I'm just being super cautious here, but I did also pick up these 2 palettes here. After swatching the Afterglow palette versus these, like I definitely don't think these are worth it. Now again, like these were only $4, so like They're $4. I haven't tried the mattes, but just watching the shimmers, they weren't that impressive. I'll go ahead and I'll swatch two just so that you can kind of see. So I'll go ahead and with this purpley shade and then this pink shade right here. Now I'll go ahead and swatch two shades from here. So I'll go ahead and I'll swatch this shade and I guess like maybe this one. As you can see, you can barely see these top two shades. That's because they don't show up. Like they don't, and I pressed very hard to try to get pigment to show up. These are two very light swatches from the Afterglow palette. So as you can see, huge difference in quality. I totally recommend this. I paid $8 for this, which is just craziness. So yeah, you should totally go ahead and pick this up. I have some eyeliners. Let's just go over them real quick. So I have this Sheglam eyeliner. This was $1. And like, if you can kind of tell, like it's like all glittery and shimmery and beautiful. So this is what she looks like. I don't know if I want to put on eyeliner today. I feel like this looks really pretty, so I think I want to leave it this way. But I do want to go ahead and swatch this so you guys can see. Ooh, so like very, very like liquidy, and I don't know, like it's kind of bleeding through a little bit, but I did do this on my palm, but very, very pigmented. The one thing I don't like about this is that I don't know if you can kind of see, but yeah, I really don't know if I'm doing an adequate job showing that or not, but it's not matte. It's very shiny. Now, like I don't mind, like actually let me take that back, because I definitely mind a shiny eyeliner, and the reason I don't like it is because if you do like a wing, it's kind of like back in the day when we used to like fill in our brows with like just the pencil, like before pomades, before eyeshadow, before like powders or anything, like you would fill in your brow and then someone would take flash photography and your brow would just go missing. Like for me, the same thing happens when I use a shiny eyeliner. So that's why my lips are so crusty. Guys, I'm sorry. Why didn't y'all tell me? Whatever, it is what it is. For me, that's kind of why I steer clear of shiny eyeliners. Now, however, if you're not gonna be photographed at all and like you just want a wing liner, for $1, yeah, you can get it. And like this packaging, like it's like weighted, it feels really nice. I'm gonna go ahead and run eyeliner in my waterline, and I have the ColourPop Creme Gel Liner, and this is in the shade Sunnyvale. Super pigmented. I was not expecting that. Now for the super exciting part, I have a mascara from Sheglam. I think I also paid like $3 for this or something. I don't know. It's dual ended. I took the packaging off, so I don't know what the differences are. I'm assuming one's like lengthening and one is volumizing, or maybe one's a primer. Yeah, okay. One side is definitely like for length, and the other side is for volume. I'm gonna go ahead and I guess start with this guy, and then I'm gonna go over with the volumizing side. Whoa, okay. So there's barely anything on this, and I barely applied any pressure, but like if you can tell, it's like kind of curved. So it like almost feels like you're going in with like a set of lashes, and it like literally hugs your entire eye. Like, I don't know if you can kind of see, probably not, but there's so much volume already, and I barely went in, and it doesn't even look like I'm like this, like these look like my lashes. Like it doesn't look like I'm wearing like any like actual product on my lashes at all. So I'm just gonna go ahead and finish coating the lashes. Honestly, like I would stop here, but just to say that we tested it out, I'm gonna go ahead with the volumizing side now. And it's definitely a drier formula, so just FYI, which I personally like. So this is what I look like with one side done. Very, like it made it super smoky. I like this a lot. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and do the lips real quick. So I have my Morphe liner in the shade Spiffy, and then I'm going to go in this Sheglam matte lipstick in the shade Nude Pink. And lastly, I'm gonna go ahead and set the face with my Ulta Beauty Wannabe setting spray. And guys, that completes today's makeup look. So I am so impressed with these products. If you guys can tell, if you're not already sold, like go ahead and buy these. Like this is amazing, like for $50 for like an entire face, and for it to look this good, like this is incredible. Definitely go ahead and check out this brand. I totally recommend. If you like this video, make sure to give it a huge thumbs up. And with that guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.